everybody, and welcome to the Living Life Show. This is Marcos Ojeda. We have a great guest joining us tonight. He is a doctor in sports science, a senior lecturer for the Football Science Institute and the University Pablo de Olavide, and a senior investigator at the Qatar National Research Fund. He is strength and conditioning coach that has trained some of the world's top athletes. Amongst others, he has coached football teams like Real Betis Balompié, the Qatar Football Association, the ACF Fiorentina, and the Tianjin Quanjin. He is currently the fitness coach of FC Basel, from where he is joining us tonight. He is a friend of this show, and he is a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the Living Life Show, Dr. Luis Suárez Arrones.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marco, for giving me the pleasure to be here today with you and to share with you all the different topics that we will have today. And I'm very happy to talk with you, to discuss with you, because you are my friend, and also I'm very proud to be a part of your show.
Thank you very much, Luis. The honor and the pleasure, it's all ours. So, the first question that we have for you now in these strange times that we are living is, I believe that in Basel, you are now facing your 8th, 9th, 10th week of lockdown. I mean, I don't know about you, I've lost the count already. It feels like we've been doing this forever. And we've been facing a lockdown for much longer than what we would like. So my first question is, how are you? How are you dealing with this strange situation?
This situation was very difficult. Was very difficult for all of us. It's a strange situation. Never in our lives we have this situation. And I think that there is a substantial difference between countries, right? In my case, all my family are in Spain. Usually I'm watching the news, I'm watching the TV here in Spain, because still I don't understand too much the German, okay, the German language, and I prefer to listen the news in Spain. There is in my mind, sometimes there was a big conflict, between the news in Spain and then go outside here in Basel and to see the people, because I was in panic. I was in panic because my family and I was watching the news in Spain every day, and then here in Basel outside there is another life, completely different. The people, I can feel that the people is not panic. Of course, the Swiss people is he respect everything, of course, but here the also the confination was not too much aggressive, right? Because I think a lot of companies, the companies continues working. Of course, all the people who can work at home is working at home. Of course, the bars and the restaurants was closed, but more or less the life continues, and with respect to the virus and with respect to the pandemic, but this a very difference between Spain, between how the people are living this situation in Spain, the panic, and here in Switzerland. At the beginning, I think more or less Spain and Switzerland was in the same line, with the infected people per 100,000 persons, right? But in Switzerland, never was a very, very strict confinement, and you can walk, you can go outside, you can do sports, and finally the situation here is well. Okay, all the hospitals have no problems, and now the life is normal. The boys are in the school, the restaurant is open, the bars is open, the museums are open, and in football we start the next week to train with all the team at the same time, no, and the perception, because for me it was very difficult, this contrast, no. I'm living in a city with a lot of respect about this, but with no the panic that we are living in Spain, no. And this was a big conflict for me, and of course it's not the best situation, but we have to live with this situation. And I don't like to be 2 months at home or almost all the time at home, but I have to take this opportunity to do another things, no. In my case, for example, to learn, to teach with online conference, to write papers, to do the things that usually I don't have time to do.
Well, I mean, actually, we forgot to say during our introduction that you mentioned the writing of different papers. You are well known because you have published a number of scientific papers in some of the world's most prestigious scientific journals. And well, it's comforting and reassuring to learn that things in Basel are not as bad as they are in other countries. But we can imagine that adapting to the lockdown is especially difficult for athletes, for professional athletes who most of their life have been training outside or being in the field. So how are you and your players adapting to this new training situation? What are the challenges that you're finding? For instance, training in isolation versus training in groups, the mental challenges versus the physical challenges. What's your view on this?
Okay, of course, in Switzerland, there are not the restrictions that the players can have in Spain, right? Because the players here can run outside, and this is a very important thing, no? Because in Spain, for example, the player or if the player doesn't have a treadmill in the house, it's very difficult to run, or he has not a space to do change of direction, is very difficult. I think this is a big challenge, or this was a big challenge for the clubs, in order to provide the players different machine or different devices for training, no? Because maybe a indoor bicycle is easy, but with indoor bicycle, the contraction and the muscle training is completely different that when you are on the field running or doing change of direction or this type of training. No, is okay. You can minimize the effect, but it's completely different than running. And also running straight line or running or analytic training is completely different than to play football. I always say that one thing is to be fit, okay, and another thing is to be adapted to play football, because one soccer player can be super fit, but he is not adapted to play football. The fitness score, of course, will help the player to be adapted to play football, because if he has a good fitness, the adaptation process will be fast, right? But to play football is completely different to do athletic training. You know, and of course the fitness will help to play in football, but you need a lot of more things, no? And in our case, the big challenge, because at the beginning, as I think in all the parts in the world, is okay, we have to be at home 2 weeks, then 2 more weeks, then 2 more weeks, right? And was the motivation of the players was like this, no? In sometimes in our case at the beginning, as when the players has the off-season period in holidays, we prepare an individualized program for 2 weeks. And after that, we start, in addition to a training prescription, okay, we start with in-live training sessions via Zoom with the players, right? 3 times per week. And then in addition, they have to do the high intermittent interval training that we prescribe the players, another strength training at home, okay? But at least 3 times per week, we have a live Zoom training, no? To talk with the player, who are you, what is everything, you can connect with them, and in addition to the other training. And the last period here in Switzerland was not easy, because at the beginning we thought that we start to train 3 weeks ago. Finally, the government and the clubs decide to wait more time. Then the players start to think, if we will not play more this season, then okay, come on, you have to motivate the players, we will play. The last week was very, very difficult, because we thought that on Monday last week we start to train all the group, okay, and finally, okay, we need one more week, and the players are not they are not trusting a lot in the process, you know. I hope, because yesterday we have the corona test, and I hope on Monday we start to train all the group, and now this weekend Bundesliga start to play also. It's a very, very good step for that, and for this reason I think now we have to try to do the things well. And from my view, soccer is another employee, like in another company. We have risk, of course, but the same risk that the people is working in the supermarket, the police, the people is working in a company with another people, you know, is we have to do it, because a lot of people needs the money from football, right? Because football is not only the players. For example, in our club, there is a lot of people working in FC Basel, and a lot of people around the world has salary from football. We have to try. We need to work as other employments, as other companies, and we have to learn to live with the virus.
Absolutely. And actually, we know, as you said, that training is very important, but also from what you say, we can understand that there are other factors that have an impact in the performance of the athletes. And this can be called like the soft factors. Now, I've known you for a long time, and I know that you've been praised not only because you are a well-recognized professional, but also because you are able to create friendly and inclusive atmospheres in the places where you work for, no? And that this has a positive impact in players. Now, Radomir Antic, who was a very famous and very successful football coach, once famously said, "A group of good players does not always make for a good team. Good atmosphere almost always makes for a great team." Now, in your opinion, when managing a group of athletes that are all fighting to achieve the same goal, how important it is to have an atmosphere of trust, kindness, and friendliness?
Okay, I'm totally agree. Not in football, in all the companies, the great atmosphere is essential, no, for to arrive to the objectives, right? In the case of football, I always like to say that for a soccer team success, we need, of course, the best, or at least good players, because if not, of course you can, for example, to have an amazing atmosphere in Eibar, for example, an amazing team, an amazing coach, and very good players, but it's almost impossible to win the league, right? For this reason, I'm being honest. We need at least very, very good players. Okay. The second thing for me is we need these players on the field. And why? You can ask me, no? Because we need these players free of injuries. Because if you have the best players, but the player is in the stadium or he cannot play, there is a high financial cost for the clubs, and of course the performance on the team decrease. Because finally you pay for the best players, but you don't have the best players. Okay, this is the second thing. And the third thing is the coach, the leader. No, from my point of view, this is the person who has to create the team. We have a group, but he has to work to create a team. No, and how a leader create a team? Of course, we know the easy things, but we have to talk about the difficult things. No, how to manage the conflict situations. It's very important. How to manage the different personalities of the players. If you are training in a club as FC Basel, it's completely different, and you are training in Barcelona or Madrid. This is much, much more important, no? To manage the different personalities, different players, different salaries, different level. Okay, you have to manage everything. And from my point of view, one of the most important things is okay, it's very easy to say the good things, but it's not easy to say the negative things. Okay, but the negative things is also important for the other players. Okay, because there is a family, we have a team. No, how the coach say the negative things to the players, of course, individually. Okay. But sometimes it's important in front of all the group to talk about the negative things. Because if one player are doing in a game no good things and repeat no good things and repeat no good things, the other player who is involved in this situation, he doesn't like it. And he will like that the coach express this and tell to the player, hey, you are doing the things wrong. You have to pass the ball, or you have to do this, or you have to connect with you understand this? This is not easy to manage this situation, no? Because to say positive things is very easy, to talk about all the group positive things, but you have to solve the conflicts, no? You have to solve the problems for the family, no? For the teams, and then when the things are not going well. After a game, when you lose, you didn't play well, you cannot try, from my point of view, you cannot say, okay, don't worry, this is the past, we have to think in positive, we have to only say positive things. Yes, you are right, but also negative things or the mistakes should be analyzed and to expose to other people, no? Because if you always remove this, the family or the team is creating some fissures, no? You are creating, and this is a very, very important thing. And the fourth step for me, is we have the leader and we need a captain, no? The captain is the leader inside the pitch, no? On the field. And this captain should be a reference in the changing room. It has to be a full connection with the leader. Of course, he has to discuss with the leader, no? The things, but always he cannot, in front of all the people, he cannot to say the opposite things to the leader. They have to talk before, They have to discuss, of course. They cannot be agree about different things, but discuss individually, and then in front of the group, everybody has to be in the same line, okay? And one of the most important things is respect. Respect from the leader, from the coach to the players, and respect to the players from the coach. And one of the most important things also is respect to the players that usually are not playing for the players that play more, of course. Because finally, we give things to the team, but also the team will give us a lot of things. Because if we have success, if we win the league, we win the cup, we have a better performance, this is not good only for the players who play more. This is good for all the players. And sometimes it's difficult that the player understand this type of thing, right? And for this reason, it's very important how the leader to manage all the group. And for me, is the key factors about that.
Thank you very much for this, Luis. That was a lecture in itself. I am sure that it applies not only to football, but to many other business situations and management of different companies.
It's not easy. It's not easy because okay, it's very easy the good things and to be positive, but for avoid ruptures, we have to talk about the things that are not going well and to find solutions.
Exactly, to have the uncomfortable conversations that are needed conversations. Now, talking about nutrition,
yes,
which also has an impact in the performance of athletes. What we have seen over the last years is that an increasing number of people has gotten increasingly concerned with their diet, with what they eat. They want to eat better, they want to eat more healthy foods, which is positive. And there has also been a boom in the so-called veganism. And actually, I'm sure that you know that a few months ago, Netflix released a documentary showing how the performance of a group of athletes improved from the moment that they became vegans or because they were vegans. On that sense, what is your view on what would be the impact of nutrition on one side and especially of turning into veganism on the other side for professional athletes? Because, and before you reply, I mean, I'm asking this because, well, we've known each other for many, many years. And I remember that when I was playing rugby many years ago, it was, you know, one of the best things that you could have for your diet was to eat a very thick steak, and that also on a daily basis, you know, the rugby players will add proteins to their diet, mostly chicken proteins. So were we wrong before and now veganism is the way to go? Has there been any, you know, scientific material proving that veganism has a positive impact on the performance of athletes?
Okay, I'm not a nutritionist. I have, of course, some knowledge about that for my profession, of course, and also I'm working every day with nutritionists. I read a lot of articles about this, and regarding this and regarding the sensationalist film or documental, in Netflix, Are you talking about this? Okay, the only thing that I can share with all of you, I respect that you can be or you like a vegan or vegetarian diet, paleo diet, ketogenic diet, or other type of diets, okay, that you like. I respect a lot. It's your choice, okay? But the thing is, I don't like the people who think that only their way is the only and correct way, right? This is clear. I'm totally totally agree that we must to eat more fruit, more vegetables, of course. We have to eat more fish than meat, of course. But in the scientific literature, we can read that, for example, the soy protein ingestion not increase the muscle protein system in the same way or manner that, for example, the whey protein, skimmed milk, or beef, for example, after the training, after the exercise, right? And protein is very, very, very important for recover, muscle recover, all the tissue recover, the reconstruction of the muscle, and if your recovery is faster, you will train better soon, and you will play the next game or the next race in a better conditions, right? And of course, we need carbohydrates for the fuel, no, in the body. Okay, for this reason, I respect the vegan or vegetarian diet, the people who only eat vegetables or plants. I respect a lot, but the science are not telling us about this. Okay, it's very important. This is very important to have a difference between science and pseudoscience. Okay, and when we are talking about science, it's very important to know the impact of the different journals and to know which journals has a high impact and which journal has zero impact. No, because sometimes if we read an article in English, we think, oh, this is a paper, this is an article, and this article inform us about the milk is not good for the health, for example. No, okay. But you have to know, okay, this journal, where it's published, in which quartile are this journal, and of course, in science, you can have different ways. No, you can have several articles in one line, another articles in another line, but finally, for this reason, there are the meta-analysis who investigate all the papers, all the articles about one topic, and make a conclusion about that. Okay, this is very important because the people a lot of times they don't know to make difference between the journals, no, the scientific literature, no. And another thing is that, from my view, is impossible that the strongest man in the world only eat plants. It's impossible. Almost, it's impossible. For sure, he needs to eat carbohydrates, vitamins, proteins. Of course, if only eat plants, he will take molecular nutrition for that, and probably another things that the athlete will not say to us. Okay, my conclusion about this is as I told you, is we must to eat more fruits and more vegetables. We must to eat more fish than meat, than beef, okay, or than chicken, but we need carbohydrates, we need proteins, also for our daily, no, for our day by day, and in case in the elite sport, much more.
Well, thank you very much for this, Luis. I don't know about the rest of the audience, but whatever you tell me, I will do. So I will stick to your advice. Now, our last question. You have been living and working in many different countries around the world, many different continents. Now, this question actually has two sides. The first one is, is there something that you would like to tell us about how different it is to live and train athletes in different countries and continents? And the second angle, which would be the other side of the same coin, would be, have you found something that is common across all athletes, regardless of their countries of origins or backgrounds?
Okay, this is a not easy question, no? Because we can talk about this 3 hours. But of course, I had the possibility to live in different countries, to live in Italy, to live in Qatar, to live in China, to live in Switzerland, of course, to live in Spain, and also to travel to a lot of more countries for teaching, for a lot of things, no? As South America, Paraguay, Argentina, Colombia, a lot of countries, right? The things that I can share with you is that is the thing that I'm trying every day is to be happy, to be happy in all the countries, no? To be happy. I was very happy in Doha. I was very happy in China. I was very happy in Italy because it is more or less is very similar to Spain, right? And I'm very happy here in Switzerland. Of course, we have in all the countries different things, things that we like more, and things that we don't like or will like less, no? But and of course the people, no? Is different cultures, completely different cultures. And for example, when I was living in Doha, I don't like some situations about the culture, about how the Qatari people is living, and also it's not when one person don't need to fight a lot for to know the things, he has a very easy life, right? And this is for everything. It's for sport, it's for work, it's for and this is, for example, a thing that I'm thinking that the Qatari people should to improve, no? Of course, because the young people, he has very easy things, no? He has everything. He has money. He has almost everything, and he needs to suffer. It's good that they suffer for to know the things, no? And of course you can feel this in my work, no? It's not the same the players from Sudan that are living in Qatar from 3 years old, that the players from Qatar is completely different. No, maybe the blood is different, right? And of course, but I was very happy in Doha. I miss a lot, for example, walking to walk, because it's a city. It's not easy to walk because you have a very big avenues with cars. It's a luxury life, no? But sometimes we are living in Spain, and sometimes we live completely the opposite. That, for example, I have in Florence, no? This is everybody in the street, walking, talking. Is a completely different. For example, in China, is another completely culture. Another completely culture is the people in China is, for example, I was living in China, but I was playing 3 times in Japan, and the people from China and Japan is completely different. It's completely different, no? And one thing that I surprising, because in our work in the club that we were coaching in China, the things was not very good, no? In this moment, the bosses are in the jail, and the club is disappearing. they have to pay. Still, they have to pay money to us. But for this reason, I don't like to speak about the like a general for all the people. No, it's in my experience. For example, one thing, but the thing is that I after 4 months, I understood that the Chinese people sometimes he say lies, right? But this in Spain, for example, if I'm lying you, is a very bad thing, no? But in China, it's like okay, no. But sometimes when we talk with the people working in the club, yeah, but yes, but please, but tell me the truth. Tell me the truth, no problem. Don't worry. Tell me the truth. You know, it's and then the players. For example, you when you work with the players are habituated that you have to do what they have to do. No, you have to explain what they have to do, and if they don't have to think, it's better. You understand me? Okay, you have to do this, pass the ball to this, go to this, and they reproduce perfectly. Go boom, boom, like a military, you know? But if you explain the player, okay, you have to pass the ball there, but if your teammate is free, you have to go to this position. But if your teammate is not free, you have to go to the other position, you know, different this type of exercise of drills, they are not too much habituated, no? They are more habituated to reproduce the things, the rules, no? And also here in Switzerland, and is, for example, very, very close to Spain, but it's completely different, the life in Switzerland than the life in Italy. You know, the people here is not, I don't know, is not open, too much open people, you know, it's more difficult to have a deep conversation with the Swiss people if you don't know too much, you know, and but also I think we have different cultures, different environments, different culture, different people, of course, but we have to try to be happy, and I was very, very happy in all the countries. We have to adapt our personality to the country, you know, and we will see where I'm living in the future, but I have now a big experience in my back, and this is very important when you work with people from different nationalities, no? Because for example, when I was working in Qatar, I was working in Doha, but in Aspire Academy, for example, in Aspire Zone, Aspetar, a lot of people from other nationalities are working with you, no? And you know how are the Australian people, the New Zealand people, the French people, the Italy people, the English people is completely different. And we have to know this. We have to know this and to adapt to this situation.
Well, thank you, Luis. That has been.
I don't know if I respond to you. I give you the answer. If I forgot something, let me know.
You did, and it was more than we could expect. So thank you very much for this, Luis. We cannot tell you how grateful we are for having you joined the show tonight. For those of you who don't know, my friendship with Luis goes a long way. We've known each other for many, many years. And Luis, I can tell you that I admire you not only professionally, where you have achieved an incredible deal, but also because you are a wonderful person and a fantastic friend. So thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Dr. Luis Suárez Arrones. Thank you very much, Luis.
Thank you very much, Marco. Thank you very much for inviting me to be here today. For me, it was a pleasure. Thanks for your question. And next time we have to meet not online, directly, right?
I fully agree, Luis. Let's do it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Ciao, ciao, ciao.